I'm really pleased to be part of this tour to the USA. We've been lucky enough to have been invited by John Diebel, who's with the Red Sox organisation, to go and visit them over a week in Florida, and we've also been able to organise a visit to the University of Texas. The Longhorns football program is renowned for its talent ID and development of players. So it's part of our ongoing search for ideas and thoughts on how we can continue to keep our pathways moving well, so that our talent ID and our talent development, our management systems are appropriate for what we're going to need in the future.
In terms of talent ID and development, do you think Australia has fallen a little bit behind when probably 10 years ago we were well out in front?
Yeah, I don't know that we've fallen behind, but we've always got to be on our toes, obviously, to maintain our position and our vigilance towards identifying talent and developing that talent. I think we've got some really good pathway programs, and obviously domestic cricket is an important part of that. Australia A is becoming even more important in that pathway program, so we're constantly vigilant about maintaining that very good pathway, because it's important if we want to return to the top of the tree.
What makes you think Major League pathways are instructive and will be helpful for what
Well,
you offer?
I might be able to answer that question better when I come back. I mean, professional sport in the USA is very cutthroat, and obviously they need to be good at all of those sort of things. Boston Red Sox has been very successful in recent years, winning the World Series twice in recent times, having had many years in the wilderness. So we're hopeful that they've discovered a few things that we might be able to learn from, and having an interest in baseball myself, it'll also be a good excuse to have an opportunity. And with Craig Shipley and John Diebel, both Australians very much involved in the Red Sox organisation, it's a great contact that we've got there.
Has this initiative been inspired by other sports who have done similar ventures into new territory?
Not necessarily, but it's been part of it's been in planning for some months now. It's been part of our plan at the end of the season to go away and have a look at what others are doing and try and learn from other sports. And I think we've got some pretty good systems in place. I think we do a lot of really good things, but if we don't look at what others are doing, we might miss an opportunity to continue to improve.
The skills are obviously different between the two games, but is it the method that you...
Yeah, it's more the method. I don't know that it necessarily matters what the sport is. Talent ID is very important in any sport, and the development process is really important, and it would be interesting to see just what they're doing at the different levels in the USA. Obviously the Red Sox are at the top of the professional tree, but the Longhorns are at the college level, very different sort of level, and at an area where it's very important to get the talent ID right and the development process right. So it'll be great to just have that opportunity.
Just on the World Cup, Greg, a lot's been made of Ricky Ponting's reaction a couple of days ago. What did you make of it when you first saw it?
Oh, look, I read Greg Baum's article this morning. I thought he put it into perspective really well. As far as tantrums go, it was well down the scale, and as he also said, Ricky's a very passionate cricketer and a very passionate captain, and he takes it all very seriously and very personally. And I'm sure he was a bit frustrated on the night, but I think we'd be pretty disappointed if we didn't have a captain who was passionate and prepared to show occasionally that he's not happy with the way things are going. But they're still doing well in the World Cup, and I think we're more interested in what's going to happen in the next few games.
So you wouldn't agree with one of your former teammates, Doug Walters, who says it's a sign of frustration from Ricky, and maybe it's time he gave up the captaincy?
Oh no, I wouldn't go that far. It might be a sign of frustration. I think all of us that have been in that position have shown that frustration from time to time. You try not to, but sometimes the halo slips, and in the scheme of things, I think a few of us before him have done a lot worse than Ricky did on that day.
Does it at all tarnish the image of Australian cricket?
Oh, no, I don't think so. Look, as I say, people are obviously going to be interested in what the Australian cricket team's doing, and particularly what the captain's doing. If he lets off a little bit of steam every now and then, I just think it shows he's human.
What have you made of Australia's campaign so far? I guess it's sort of it's a long haul to get to the quarterfinals, and they probably haven't been at their best. But is that a good thing? They're not peaking too early.
Well, yeah, we'll only find out in the next few games, I suppose. I think most of us, including the players, would have preferred to have had the game finish against Sri Lanka. That would have been probably the biggest test so far in the tournament. Some of the other teams have had some really tough games and have had some losses. You know, who knows really? I think it's only going to start from next weekend really. This game with Pakistan will be an important one. Hopefully it's a good hit out and a close game, because I think that we need a close game, and we need some of the middle order to get some opportunities, and for the group as a whole to be tested a little bit, because some of the games from here on in, once we get to the quarterfinals, it's cutthroat, and they'll all be big games. So to get a good hit out against Pakistan will be important.